Hi guys, it is time for my monthly, basically is your ex coming back. It is usually due end of the first week each month. So this is our November and the first week of December. These are actually the cards from a different deck. I actually do have exactly the same cards in this deck, and I have developed this spread that I called Cat Tarot Knows or X spread, but it also can apply to actually current on and off relationships and sometimes tricky relationships. When I do the private reading, if you're in a relationship, I kind of like use this King of Wands versus Knight of Wands, and I use generic Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands for a reason. So I'm going to spend just a minute to explain this category. So don't start telling me, oh, you're having the same in the same video. Yes, I actually do, because these are just titles of the book that I want to figure out for each sign what's happening this particular month. So the very first category, the Magician. The Magician is the creator, right? This category number one is a starter category. Is this relationship a starter? You know that maybe you want it, but sometimes just circumstances or people are against us. Maybe, you know, we live in different cities. Maybe, you know, temptation is just too much. Maybe family is against it. Maybe we just never find time to see each other. That this is all going to show up in this category. So even if this says you guys are good to go and you will have a happy relationship, if you don't see each other, it just simply kind of like fade away. So this is kind of relationship that's going, this is kind of category that's going to explore that. Then I have here Temperance Reversed. And it's purposely reversed because in the upright position, temperance is talking about patience, and for every relationship we need patience, even though they're selling us and they fell in love and that kind of stuff. Okay, let me be a little bit skeptical about that, right? It happens to all of us. We all crave that, but we do know that something that kind of like turns into flame really quickly also really quickly kind of like fades away. So temperance talks about merging two very different liquids together, talks about alchemists, talks about seeing this vision for these two people creating their own kingdom, right? The angel. Now, when temperance is reversed, something is not gelling. Something is not right. Either it's not the right person, or it's not the right time, or it's not the right place, or just not the right circumstances. So these two categories, as you can see, are very important and they are circumstantial. Then it's going to be about you and about your partner, whether you are in a relationship or not. Even though Queen of Wands generally talks about fire signs and King of Wands talk about fire signs, in this particular readings, I am just dedicating this to be you. Why? Because if we have any issues in a relationship, we always have to take a few steps back, sometimes all the way back to dating, sometimes kind of like really figuring out, okay, so what do I want to do and how do I really want to, you know, seduce this person all over again. I want him to see me with fresh eyes, or I want her to see me as powerful and important. So hence we kind of take on this role of Queen of Wands for ladies, or role of Knight of Wands, or King of Wands for gentlemen. So King of Wands is slower than Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the one who will chase you and eventually is going to settle in for King of Wands. So that's kind of the difference. And Eight of Wands is generally love arrows and communication and the energy card, right? It goes literally, you can see the arrows of love flying in this direction. So I really want to see what's happening here. Is this combination proper? Because sometimes we read into things that other persons say and we create our own reality, or maybe this reality doesn't exist. So it's just going to here tell me in this category what the partner thinks about you or what she thinks about you. And here, kind of like how is this communication flowing, if at all. Now this is my karma card. I have 4 karma cards. The karmic cards that I designate as karmic cards are Judgment, Justice, Ace of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. There is a reason for all of them. In this particular card, it's kind of really important for me to see kind of like the emotions from the past that are currently kind of like being looked upon. So this is simply just, again, if you're getting blessings in this relationship, if things from the above looked upon kind of like are favorable, it's kind of like it's not really your will, but it is something that basically depends on kind of like really higher level of thinking. And this card for once, which is my relationship, next level, long term, going to the next stage card, is going to tell me about the quality of your relationship. So this is kind of in short description. So hopefully you listen through it, because now I'm going to just jump in and I'm going to just roll out the cards and we can go with that. Okay, so talk to you soon. Hi Cancer, welcome to your X reading. So before I start, this is a general reading. I guess you know this, and all of it or some of it can relate to you. However, to really get to know if your ex is coming back to you, you can contact me for your private reading at cattarot.ca. So let's just jump in. So the first 10 days from whenever you are like listening to this or viewing this, or from the 5th to the 15th of November, it's giving some kind of like stuck in the rut feeling, kind of like things are not moving forward, or there is some kind of immaturity involved over here. What needs to be glued? Relationship, it just non-existent, kind of has to be lifted off the ground. So how are you seen? Wow, you are seeing as you're suffering. You see, the death card is talking about resurrection and moving forward and kind of finding that silver lining. But when it's reversed, it just says you're just kind of stuck. It's that perpetual kind of, you know, feeling of pain, and it's almost like unnecessary pain. So communication, well, things can look up. Okay, so these are basically the Wheel of Fortune, one of my karma cards. And when this kind of appears, anything can happen. It's kind of like, you know, Joker in the cards. It generally, upright is something good. It's going to be good received. But also it can kind of turn, because this Wheel of Fortune keeps spinning. So anything that looks really cool, it can kind of turn around as well. Your partner, you see, here is Magician reversed, might be telling you anything just to kind of like get ahead. It's interesting that they have 1-1 and the Wheel of Fortune. There is some kind of feeling of it cannot continue the way it's continuing, but somebody wants to convince you, your partner wants to convince you that you should, like, either that you don't understand, or you didn't see what you did see, or you shouldn't suffer. You know, I love that when people tell you how I feel and you say you shouldn't feel this way. Yeah, okay, great, I just told you I feel this way, right? And this is kind of a feeling, oh, I'm really, somebody wants to present as such a great deal. It's a salesman, literally a bad sleazy salesman. And they're walls, they are built walls. Karma is saying, protect yourself. You really need to protect yourself. You need to protect your intellectual, mental faculties, and also your heart. And you actually have to protect your money. This is a big warning. This is also a card of a miser. Maybe your partner is somebody who just wants everything for themselves and not willing to kind of share. Yeah, look at it. They are showing up here. You know what? They kind of don't think about it seriously. They know you do. They don't want to lose you, so they're promising you world. And you know it, but you want to hear what they're telling you, because they're telling you they love you. They're telling you they want to build something with you. But you kind of like know the body language. You are picking it up that they're like closed in. This is not happening. but you're believing words. And you should trust your emotions in this case, because everything he or she presents as a really nice and rosy thing. Oh, well, what's the problem? Everything is fine. Be very, very, very careful. So let's see the second 10 days, or from the 15th to the 25th. Look, there is this anxiety. There is like this feeling of, yeah, I know better. You know, like, you're nervous. You're maybe even checking, like, I mean, his phone or other people. It's just like, right, what's the point? If you have to do that, are you doing this to prove it to yourself? I think he's just crazing you out here. This is not a good place to be. This is not trusting your own eyes, your own instincts. And yeah, look at this. From 1 to 10, this relationship just cannot go. This is everything. This is kind of like bookends of a love story, and both of them are happening in what is not happening. And no wonder you're feeling this anxiety. Like, you know that you're not heading there. You want to believe in this, but look, this is the suffering, continuously suffering. So how you're seen, you see, you're seen as not healing. You're seen as kind of like really somebody who would need help. The star generally talks about a person who is not opening themselves up to the professionals, to people who can help. Somebody who is really suffering in quietness. And this is you guys, you're Cancer, right? You kind of like do that. You lock yourself in the room, you don't show your emotions. And I think this is what may be happening for you. Communication, no. So this is lots of immaturity. Pages are messengers, and the messages are not reaching, and he is like galloping away, and hence you're hurting, right? He is at some point trying to carry on these burdens. Look at this 1 and 10 and 10. These are also secrets. And you know, like what they say, if you don't lie, you don't have to keep memorizing things. And look at this, all these lies and all these memorizations. It's getting too hard, and then eventually he'll stop dropping, and you know it, but for some reason you were just willing to do it and listen to it for, I don't know, maybe you felt you cannot walk away from it. And Judgment is saying, listen, if you're a sucker for punishment, be my guest, but at the very least try to see this from a different person's perspective. Try to see how the other people see this. Try to see if you recommend this relationship to your friend, to your loved one, to your daughter, to your son. You have to give yourselves these answers, because this is saying don't do anything. Just, you see, here is telling you to protect yourself, and here is telling you do nothing. Just observe. Let them, you know what they say, give them a rope. Let them hang themselves. Just accept you are kind of like the one who is tangled up in the rope, and rope of temptation. You need to heal, guys. And yeah, again, it's not going anywhere. Like, any plans are kind of falling off. You're not building things. So let's see the last 10 days, or I don't know, end of the month, beginning of December here. You see, this is falling in this category, saying, look, this is now 1-9, this is second 9. It's saying, you guys, you need to discover yourself. See, here, you're failing to reach happiness with this person. But why in the world are you giving yourself this misery? This is saying, look, you have to rediscover yourself. You kind of have to figure out what makes you happy. You cannot tell me that your entire world revolves around these people, because you'll be miserable for the rest of your lives if you inside of yourself cannot make this happy. So this is asking you to rebuild yourself emotionally, and you can do it. And it's not moving forward with that fellow or with this person. It's this, in fact, relationship was a big test, and it hasn't passed. But hey, you're somehow getting into balance. You are getting back on the horse. The Justice card says things will get back in order and things will get balanced. So here you're kind of getting that. You're getting out of your own cave. You are saying, see now, like there are two karma cards showing up. This person definitely was a karmic connection, so it will be good to get your karmic contract that you check. I do that reading. So this person was here for you to push you back on your track. So he or she actually had a really big purpose in your life. So suffering was there, but suffering means you actually wrote this person in your chart. So there is this giving up on this person, saying this is going nowhere. This person continues with their secrets. They continue with their la-la stories. And you are just listening, watching, and saying, dude, you're just hanging yourself. And the lesson here, one of the lessons you need to learn is giving and sharing. And giving and sharing is not you give and give and give and they take and take and take. It has to go two-way. And that's, I think, something that he is not able to comprehend, or she. And ultimately, interestingly enough, this was a test. You guys are moving forward. It will be you. You're going back on the horse. You feel the justice is served, and you actually are moving on, ready for a new relationship, even possibly attracting a new partner by somewhere early December. So good for you. This is kind of like nice. This story of suffering, unfortunately, it starts with big hopes, trying to hope, and then feeling let down, but also learning a lesson. So Cancer, as I said, I'm sorry that they were not such a great news, but to get really your own chart, you can contact me for your private reading at cattarot.ca. And I really appreciate your comments. If you like and share and subscribe, and talk to you soon. Love you.